Hello guys, back again with the Al Razda channel. And this time, as always, we will be back to talk about the best Donghua series, and of course, it is SwallowedStar. In the previous episode, we saw how cool Luofeng and his team's battle was when facing the messenger sent by Nolan Shan's family. Davin was instantly defeated before he even showed his action, while Bai Kaluo, after a long battle, became one of Luofeng's subordinates in the end. And in order not to defect against Luofeng, he showed his dominance while in Golden Horn mode and implanted the Soul Seal method into him. That was yesterday's episode, and now, without further ado, we'll jump straight into the storyline. This time, we will be taken to the planet that is the main headquarters of the Nolan family. While waiting for a report from his two messengers, Nolan was shocked because Davin's life signs suddenly reached 0. And not only that, when he tried to contact Bai Kaluo to get a report on the current situation, suddenly the contact between Nolan and Bai Kaluo was cut off again. Realizing that both of them had now failed the mission, all Nolan could do was angrily mention Luofeng's name while releasing a tense aura of power in the room. Then the scene switched to the planet Mars. Here, in order to return to Prime, Luofeng and the others used wood crystal essence. Some time ago, Luofeng also praised Difan for doing his job well. Luofeng also had an assignment for him, where Difan would be stationed on planet Bailan, Earth's second base, and monitor the surrounding area of the planet. If any anomalies were found, Difan was asked to immediately provide a timely report. This was done to prevent external forces from the universe from appearing, and moreover from coming to invade Earth. After everyone had recovered, the extremely curious Lei Shen asked Luofeng about how he had survived the previous destructive laser shots, and even recovered so quickly. Luofeng, who still didn't want to reveal the golden horn, could only make a funny face, stammering, unable to give a proper answer. Since Luofeng could not handle the situation, it was Babata who had to intervene in the end. Babata said that Luofeng had previously used Babata's new secret method of healing, thus surviving the destructive laser fire. Although the answer did not satisfy Lei Shen, at least he had stopped asking questions. Babata also reminded Luofeng that henceforth he should no longer act rashly using such a self-destructive method. On the other hand, Bai Kaluo scanned Meng Yi and Aogu's brains, which found that the two slaves did not have biochips embedded in them. Out of curiosity, Bai Kaluo asked why the two slaves did not have biochips or soul seal marks that should have been done to bind them. To Luofeng, the two were not slaves, but trustworthy companions and free beings. Luofeng absolutely did not condone the name slavery, as what was often seen in life in the universe. As long as Bai Kaluo showed his contribution later, he could also be considered Luofeng with such a designation. On the other hand, the efforts made by Nolan have now completely failed. Luofeng asked Bai Kaluo, what would Nolan do next? The bald alien was completely unaware of Patriarch Nolan's plans for the future. While he himself was sent to Earth for the purpose of taking over the Earth and making its citizens slaves, there is also a hidden target that must be obtained, and that is the ruins of ancient civilization number 1, aka the spaceship of the mechanical race. Before long, Luofeng and the others were moving towards the number 1 ruin of civilization found at the bottom of the ocean. A plane created with technology owned by the mechanical race. The mechanical race, aka robots, is said to be the most advanced race in the universe. Each of the robots is a highly intelligent being. Babata estimated that the spaceship in front of them was in Class E, while its owner was a mechanic who had reached the immortal level. Before the crew died, they deliberately activated the defense system installed right at the entrance and inside the aircraft. It is very difficult to penetrate because the aircraft defense system is at least in Class D. Those who do not have qualified resistance will be immediately destroyed by the defense laser before they can enter the inside of the aircraft. There was a method that could be used if they wanted to take over the aircraft, where someone was required to enter the aircraft control room and insert a smart chip that had been provided by Babata. This would allow Babata to hack into the system and disable the aircraft's defenses. However, the most important thing in this plan was for someone with strong defenses to make it through the aisle of the plane, which was filled with active defense systems. As a fighter who had reached the 8th level of the universe, Bai Kaluo had volunteered to enter the airship. Apart from being the highest level among them, Bai Kaluo also had Tier 3 armor inside his body, and on the outside, he was also wearing a D5 level battlesuit. Since it was the most reasonable thing, Luofeng allowed it. Luofeng also asked Bai Kaluo to remain cautious and go out immediately if he encountered anomalies that could not be dealt with. The smart chip was given, and without any delay, the aliens slid through the entrance that was filled with outer defense lasers. Bai Kaluo was able to pass through easily, and he managed to get into the aisle section of the plane. Of course, that was just the beginning of the defense system that he had to pass through on his way to the control room. The design of the spaceship looks very futuristic. The technology used feels more advanced when compared to ordinary intelligent aircraft. Continuing down the hallway, Bai Kaluo finally arrived at the circular control room in the center of the aircraft. In addition to the pillars and large crystal balls covered by protective barriers, there was also a deadly laser defense system, like the one in front of the entrance, but in larger numbers. It's very difficult to avoid, as the deadly lasers can appear everywhere and even appear from thin air. Not only was Bai Kaluo required to dodge every laser attack aimed at him, but he was also required to destroy the defense barriers before he could place Babata's smart chip. After a few laser attacks, Bai Kaluo was then simultaneously ganged up on by the laser fire that appeared around him. Meanwhile, in the outer area, Babata explained that the deeper one goes into the craft, the stronger the craft's defense system will be. Babata also couldn't be sure whether or not, with Bai Kaluo's durability, the alien would be able to get through. Back to Bai Kaluo, who made it through a simultaneous attack of deadly lasers, destroying the control crystal ball and into the circular control room. After not hearing from Bai Kaluo for a long time, Bai Kaluo soon reported that he had now successfully carried out his task. Not lingering, Babata immediately hacked the defense system so that Luofeng and the others could enter the plane safely.
成功，通道的防御系统解除。
老大。
After entering the control room, Babata, who could not stand it, immediately tinkered with the aircraft. He wanted to see how useful this mechanical spacecraft was. And as a start, Babata tried to see the energy of the aircraft's protective barriers. A greenish beam from a triangular device appeared to be one of the tools used as a very high-level defense beam and was said to be able to withstand S9 level attacks. This means that the energy will not be able to be destroyed except by fighters who have reached the immortal or undying level. Not only is the barrier energy part still intact, so is the power possessed by the aircraft. The speed and maneuvers that can be done by the plane are also certainly unusual. After seeing some of the uses possessed by the mechanical spacecraft, Babata proceeded to the weaponry section. And here Babata found that there were 9 E3 level laser cannons which were really useful. But that's not all, guys. Babata was also quite surprised when she discovered the three main weapons possessed by the mechanical aircraft, and that was the planet-destroying cannon. As the name implies, one shot produced by the weapon can destroy a planet in the blink of an eye. Wow, crazy bro. Babata said all the treasures Luofeng had obtained up until now were nothing. When juxtaposed with this mechanized spacecraft, it was only fitting that Nolan was so adamant about being able to obtain it. After looking through the weaponry next, Babata would try out the aircraft detection device. In addition to discovering the greatness of aircraft detection devices that can reach tens of thousands of kilometers, there is also bad news, because Babata found two spaceships that were on their way to approach the Earth. At first, Luofeng thought that it was an army from the Nolan family, but it was not, and Baikaluo could confirm that they were not from the Nolan family.
这不是诺兰山家族的飞船。
When recalling the previous events, Hong remembers that there are several spaceships heading to Earth besides Nolan. Among them were low and medium threat. But according to Babata, that was not the main problem, because the most important thing right now was that the coordinates of the Earth were already known by warriors from various universes. Thus, in the future, more external forces will flock to the Earth, trying to seize ownership of the Earth from Luofeng, making the citizens of the Earth continue to live in terror and threats that occur on an ongoing basis. For Luofeng to be able to avoid a situation like Babata said, all they need to do is show the outside world that the Earth can also pose a threat to people who intend to invade. Together with friends, Luofeng flew towards the aliens who were trying to find trouble. The enemies they would soon meet were on average at the star level, and they used planes that were not very strong. Therefore, Baikaluo was sent down because he alone was enough to tear apart the plane and the people inside. We moved to this alien airship, whose name is unknown. The commander of the craft and the crew look very happy because they will soon set foot on Earth. But in the middle of their journey, they are suddenly intercepted by Baikaluo, who easily manages to stop the speed of the craft with just one hand. He also kicked the spaceship like a ball, while the crew tried their hardest to survive the intense shaking. In order for Luofeng's voice to be heard by the aliens on the plane, Babata here turned on the megaphone sound. Luofeng asked the aliens to immediately come out to meet him. These aliens, who thought Luofeng was just an arrogant, weak earthling, then asked their subordinates to activate the laser cannon attack. But Luofeng's side didn't seem at all daunted, because the way to handle it was quite easy. Here, Baikaluo only needed to cut off the laser cannon weapon that the enemy was so proud of.
Baikaluo，隶属于宇宙人类的任何族群。
Luofeng said that before one was at the universe level, any group belonging to the human race in the universe would not be able to survive for a long time. Just by relying on their physical bodies alone, Luofeng was very sure that those aliens also didn't want to be buried in a foreign land like this place. The alien leader, who felt frightened, then sent his own subordinates out of the plane to talk to Luofeng directly, because he himself was a bit scared. While feeling frightened, the alien also said that they came as an envoy of the Botre family from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. This alien tried to carry around the family name to protect his life. Not wanting to lose, Luofeng emphasized that he was the owner of the Earth, and that he was also affiliated with the Three Axes Mountain organization. This was a location that uninvited outsiders were not allowed to touch. So if this alien in front broke in rashly, then not only Luofeng's side would have to deal with the Three Axe Mountain organization. Knowing how much strength Luofeng had, the weak aliens immediately left the location, and thus, everyone in the universe would understand that the Earth had a strong guardian, and even Nolan would think twice if he intended to visit Earth later. That's what Lei Shen thinks. At the same time, AI Lord Wu suddenly appeared, saying that Lei Shen was now too weak and that he could only protect himself from a bunch of shrimp and anchovies in the universe. After this news spread, it was the stronger people who would feel attracted to the Earth. Here, Hong agreed with Lord Wu's words. That's why, before the incident, Lord Wu asked Lei Shen to immediately train under his guidance. Babata also suddenly appeared and said, "It is foolish to think that by practicing, everything will be done. Going up just 1 or 2 levels would obviously not have a big impact when dealing with a very strong person." Still, Lord Wu felt that training was the only way they could go, and so the argument between the two artificial intelligences continued. Meanwhile, in the other direction, AI Atuka was looting items that had bounced off the alien ship earlier. Among these items was a chip, along with Babata, who came up with an idea that might be used to solve the current problem.
办法在这儿。
And that was the ending of SwallowedStar episode 126 this time, guys. For the next episode, it looks like Luofeng will come to the auction to strengthen the Earth. Okay, thank you to those of you who have watched until the end. And don't forget to support this channel with likes, comments, and subscribe. And don't forget to press the notification bell button for the next update, because your support is very valuable for this channel. That's all, thanks. And the last word from me, bye.